Well, good morning, everybody. This is your local farmer, and we are down here at the TV station here in Bucks County. Darren was just showing me the latest episode of Local Farmer's Diary that he has gotten put together with Raz's help. Like a really great episode due to production delays, of course, from filming and everything. You all actually have probably already seen the video that I'm talking about. So we've got a little break in the rain, and I wanted to go around and check our crops, see how they're growing, and we take care of our sheep this morning. Then I thought we would head out and see about maybe getting some of these fields fertilized, because I think our fields, I think we've got what we call here in the farming industry emergence. All of our crops are up out of the ground. This wonderful field of, I believe this is Sudan, corn looking crop, but not corn exactly. TV station isn't too terrible far away from the main farm. Makes the excursions down there not too problematic. Did have rain yesterday. Rained around midday. And then we had some more rain, I don't know, probably toward the evening, overnight. Like I said, today looks like we've got a little bit of a reprieve in the rain, but rest assured, everybody, don't worry. Weather forecast says we're going to have rain Wednesday and Thursday for sure, possibly even rain into Friday. The rest of the week is pretty much a washout. Got our carrots coming up. They look real good. They could use a little bit of fertilization. I've got this cool new tool we got from a group called Realismus. They are out of Germany, and they make interesting farming tools. And they made this scanner. You just come up here, point at the plant, and it does some pretty cool things. And basically, it's telling me that got 69% crop moisture. A little high on the ground moisture, 29% ground moisture, but we could do with a little bit more fertilizer here on this particular field. I think Darren said he was going to try to also overlay when we are standing in our fields information about each field. It could also be carrots. This one's fully fertilized. We don't need to worry about that one. Field's not owned by us. Here we have onions. Onions growing in here. And I think this field could use another dose of fertilizer. We'll come down here and check out our two cabbage fields. It really is amazing what they can do in post-processing, post-production. That's it, post-production. I'm going to get these TV lingo terms down at some point. These are red cabbage. Wonderful field of red cabbage. Wow. Great. They could definitely use some more fertilizer. Get the fertilizer on them. And here we have our regular cabbage. Green cabbage. Definitely use some fertilizer there too. Going back to the farm, we'll check out how the black beans are coming. Check out the clover. And sheep taken care of, and by that time, Raz should be back at the house. Probably be around 10:30, about that point in time. He'll be back here, farm. We'll be able to get the fertilizer spreader or sprayer hooked up. We don't want to be putting granular fertilizer on a field that's had emergence. That is not a good idea. I'll spray some fertilizer on there, and I know it's going to rain tomorrow, but we've got a good day. Have a good day to get absorbed by the plant before the rain comes tomorrow and eventually washes it off. I'm in the back way. Black beans out. Quite well. They are good to go. This field doesn't need any more fertilizer. This field, we could definitely fertilize this field again. We have our clover. Clover's looking really good. Probably use another shot of fertilizer on this, but sadly, I'm not going to be able to put any on there after emergence. Again, that's got to be organic, so our only options are going to be shoot it with slurry or toss manure on it. Both are not going to be very helpful for a young plant to have that tossed on it. So, well, that field's pretty much done until it's time to mow. Go here and trot up here, and we'll see about getting our sheep watered. Give them another bale of hay. Take too terrible long. That water pipe sure does help. Back before we had that, we had a trailer, and we had to get water from that tank over there. Had to pump water into the tank. We had to bring it over there and basically pump it out into the trough. Got a lot of wool. Depending on how many days of rain we've got, we might be hauling wool in the rain. We go ahead and get these forks off of this thing, drop the rear weight off, and I'll go ahead and get hooked up to the sprayer. Bring it around here and get it full of fertilizer. At that point, we're just going to be waiting around for Raz to show up. Hopefully we can get some of those really nice aerial views that you guys seem to enjoy so much. I was just checking the weather forecast here on the tablet. Got good weather today. Like I said, we got rain coming in tonight, rain tomorrow, off and on, rain Thursday, rain Friday, and then looks like it might be clearing out for the weekend and early the following week. So summer is going to be on us pretty soon. Saturday and Sunday, 80 and 85 degrees. Pretty far stretch from the low 70s. Rain. Raz has finally gotten here. A lot longer than I was expecting. Afternoon at this point. Tells me he's got his drone up and ready to go. So head on over here to the bean field and get this party started. Going ahead and swapped out the tires on the tractor here. Put on narrows on the front and dual narrows on the back. The reason we've got dual narrows on the back is basically because we want to minimize the ground pressure as much as possible. Narrow tires, while it's great for getting between the crops and not crushing the crop after we've had emergence, not so great for ground pressure. So by doubling up on the narrow tires on the back, we're basically helping with the ground compaction, get between the crops, and at the same point in time we don't have as much of a concern about ground compaction. So some folks have been asking questions about what is the A and B shows up when we setting up our steering. I thought I'd tell you guys that is what's called AB. AB point, or basically 2-point steering navigation. So we basically set a point A and a point B, and obviously the correct path between 2 points is going to be that straight line. So it helps us set a straight line before we start out on a field with that line set, and everything else that we do on the field is based on that, and factor in also the working width of our implement, and then that helps us establish, don't miss spots. Also helps us kind of do skip rows from time to time. Sometimes our implement will won't be the greatest at steering, and it'll be kind of difficult to just flip back and double back upon ourselves in the following row. So what we might do is we might skip a row, and then we might come back after we've done one full set. For example, let's skip a row here, and our system allows us to then know what's the center line of the next row that we want to work. Then we have the path here in the middle between these two paths that's undone. Then when we come back, basically catch that and not have to worry about missing out on too much field. Back in the old days, before we had such technologies available to us, we basically used the good old Mark I eyeball, as I've called it before, to line things up. We would put our center hood marker like this, pick a row of crop, and just keep that lined up. And we would know then, based on our crop spacing, that our front tires and our rear tires are basically going to be driving between the crop rows. We're not crushing crop. Then we kind of have to count the crop rows. We have to know how many crop rows our implement is wide. And at that point, count that many crop rows. Go then over one full working width. And that's how we used to do it back in the olden days of pre-assisted steering. Launch that drone view again. Something that helps with the drone view is, man, you can really tell that we've got some cloudy weather out there today. Well, we had rain last night. The clouds have not cleared away. Really looks like it could be threatening to rain at any point in time. That tells me we've got a good aerial shot at this point. Maybe we'll double back and show you how that works with skipping every other row. Careful about that rock there at the edge of the field. And you can see the arrow shot. Thankfully, this sprayer got enough liquid in there, enough water that we're spraying it, that it really helps basically marking the field wet. Kind of help know where you've been. You can kind of see where we've been. See how the wheels kind of are going between the crops. Purpose of these row crop tires, after all. We'll go ahead and finish this field off, and Brad says he needs to change out the cameras on the drone, or change out the batteries on the drone, and keep back up over on our cabbage fields. Well, for whatever reason, Raz said that probably not going to get the drone back up and running today. About the batteries not holding charge or overheating or something. I don't know. That's all fine and dandy. Thankfully, we don't need a drone to do our spraying, so we're just going to go ahead and continue on spraying for the rest of the afternoon. Cabbages, they are looking mighty fine. Folks down at the farmers market are going to enjoy this crop. Bring the boom out the road. I don't see anybody. Dunkin' Donuts. Sorry, we got work to do. Time to go over there and get ourselves a chocolate eclair. Bear claw, those are good too. Bear claws. This is a rather unique field because it wraps around the barn there and the house. Got lots of old farmhouses, barns that have kind of been not so much abandoned as far as just, but they're no longer being used for what they were originally built for. Just say that. Got this field here. Go ahead and continue on down our course. Of course, is our red cabbage field. Red cabbages don't sell as well as regular cabbages, but we still have a demand for them. Like to spread them up and put them in their coleslaw and add a little extra color. Get the bird out of here. Scarecrows and put up. Thankfully, where we are, we don't seem to have too much problem with deer. But birds, on the other hand, birds are the scourge. Pretty much any vegetable farmer in the area. There's some other farmers on the other side of the river that have had a fair bit of problem with deer. Uncontrollable numbers, larger deer populations than we've ever seen in the last 15, 20 years. Really coming in, and they can just decimate a crop. Corn. So they do have deer problem, but this side of the river, for whatever reason, they don't seem to be coming over here as much. Probably because farmers don't want to hear it, but probably because those farmers are keeping them fed well enough that they're not needing to venture across the water to find greener pastures. You know what I mean? Doing spray. I think we're going pretty good. Under halfway. on that gauge, and when it gets up of the one where we can't see it anymore, then we know we're pretty much empty. We'll need to run back to the farm and fill it up. Alright, well, I know you all like to watch the aerials and like to watch the musical montages, as Mr. Raz loves to describe it. So I'm going to cut this one a little short. Stop recording for the day. Let us, I need to focus on getting these fields sprayed before the rain comes. And given the amount of rain that we're going to be seeing and the number of days we're going to be seeing the rain, probably are going to be talking about hauling our wool next time we get together. So until next time, happy farming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.